Good afternoon. It's Miss Bree from the Pickerington Public Library with my helper again, Miss Violet. Say hello.
Hi.
And we are back with another art video today, and we're actually going to be talking about the color wheel today. And we're going to be making color wheel umbrellas. Should we show our pictures real quick so they can see a quick preview of what we're going to make? Woo, there it is. All right, so that's what we're going to be making today. But first, we're going to talk about what is the color wheel. Do you remember what the color wheel is?
A color wheel, it is...
It's a wheel.
Yeah, it's a wheel.
And what's on it?
There's all the colors.
All
Red,
the colors.
Orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
Perfect. You did learn a little bit about color, didn't you? So it's not just random colors. There's some specific colors that go on the color wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to talk about those here in just a moment. So let me show you guys my screen here. Our color wheel umbrellas. All right, just quickly talk to you about the supplies that we used. I'll show this again at the end, but we've got pencils, ruler, markers. We have some paper. We needed 2 pieces of paper each. 2 pieces of paper each. Some washable paints. You need red, yellow, and blue.
Paintbrushes.
Paintbrushes, yes.
Scissors.
We use some scissors.
Permanent markers.
Permanent black markers, yep.
Pencils.
Yeah, we did pencils. We've got a rag here. We had a little cup of water to clean our brushes. And then at the very end, we didn't put this in the supply picture, but we ended up adding, we used glue, Violet used colored pencils, and I used markers when we made our final pictures. So you'll see those as we show you our works at the end. So again, we talked about the color wheel. The color wheel is a big old wheel that tells you basically colors.
Yeah,
And how colors are made and how they kind of relate to one another. So our plan for today is identify the colors on the color wheel. We're going to learn some new color terminology or new color words. And we're going to make an artwork that demonstrates what you learned about the color wheel. So we talked about this in our other art videos, the elements of art. And these are the basic things that are in an artwork. There are 7 art elements, and again, an artist uses 1 or more of these in every single artwork that he or she makes. So they are color, value, line, texture, shape, form, and space, and today we're going to focus on color. So here it is. There's the color wheel. Huh. There she is. So that's what it looks like. And again, there are other colors that can be made out there, but this is the basic color wheel, and we're going to talk about the 3 different types of colors that are on this color wheel. It's going to have primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. What those words mean basically is primary means 1 or first, secondary means second, tertiary means third. So there are 3 sets of colors we're going to see here on the color wheel. So do you remember what our primary colors are? The 3 basic colors?
Red, blue, and yellow.
Yep, red, blue, and yellow. No other colors can be mixed to make these colors when we're working with our paints. They're just the 3 colors that you need to make the other colors. So really, if you just had red, yellow, and blue at your house, you can actually make a lot of colors just from those 3 colors. So let's see. We'll also talk about secondary colors, purple, green, and orange. And those are going to be made by mixing 2 of the primary colors. And then our intermediate or tertiary colors, those are going to be the colors where if you mix more yellow into your green, it's going to be yellow-green. Or if you mix more blue into your green, it's going to be blue-green. And we'll see some examples of that in a little bit. So here are the main primary colors. Here's red. Here you can see with my pointer. And then here we see, oops. Let's go back. Blue here.
Blue.
And yellow is here. Yeah.
Red, yellow.
Our complementary colors are orange, purple, and green.
And green.
And then these extra colors on the on the sides of those complementary colors, those are going to be our tertiary colors. And we'll talk about those again in a little bit. So those complementary colors, those are the ones, if you put those two colors together, they say they create the most contrast. So if you put blue beside orange, it makes the blue look bluer and the orange look oranger. Sometimes you call them opposite colors because they're opposite each other on the color wheel. And another term we can use is analogous. These are going to be colors that touch each other on the color wheel. So if you see, you know, a bunch of colors that are touching on the color wheel, those are called analogous. There's our color wheel again. Here's one more slide about colors. And these are the warm colors. These are your reds, your oranges, and your yellows. And then we've got our cool colors, which are blues, greens, and purples. So sometimes you're going to choose different colors when you make your artworks. And you want to create a kind of mood or a feeling. So if you're going to make a beach scene, a nice, warm, hot, sunny day, what colors would you use? Warm colors or cool colors? What would make you think of a warm beach? Which colors?
Yellow.
Yeah, the yellows, reds, oranges.
Orange.
Yeah, definitely. And cool colors might be a winter scene, if you're doing a winter scene. So let's show you an example here of how an artist uses color. This is Vincent Van Gogh's Poppy Field. And what color are the flowers on this one?
I think they're red and white and blue.
Yeah, so I definitely see the red. What's the color that's behind the red? What's that color?
Green.
Green. So red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel. So by him using that red with the green behind it really makes those red poppies kind of pop, make them stick out. So again, artists are going to choose colors that are going to make each other stand out, make each other stand out. If he would have chosen blue flowers, they might not have stuck out as much as these red flowers on top of the green grasses behind them. All right, well, let's get started with our project. This is how we started our color wheel project. So we're actually going to start with a wheel, and then we're going to kind of change the shape later. But first, we just wanted to get our wheel going here. So if you've got little ones at home, maybe you can help them make their circles and make these lines that we're going to do here. If you're an older kiddo, I'm sure you can do this on your own. So we traced a bowl. That's an easy circle to trace, right? So we traced a bowl, and then we used a ruler to draw 3 lines that would make 6 pieces of pie. That's what it looks like, right? Kind of looks like pie. If you wanted to include more colors, the tertiary colors, you would actually need 12 slices of pie. So you'd have to draw 6 lines across. But we only made a 6-color wheel. So we needed 3 lines to make 6 pieces of pie. So you can see we drew 1 line through the center, 1 across that, and then we made kind of an X on top of that. And that's how we got our 6 pieces of pie. I labeled these for you just so that you could kind of keep in mind what you were doing, but you need to keep a space in between each of your primary colors. So we did yellow and then a space and then red and then a space and then blue, and then there's a space between the blue and the yellow. So those are our primary colors, right? So that's all we used were those 3 colors of paint, and we used those 3 colors of paint to make our secondary colors, right? Here's Violet painting her wheel. So she got her 3 colors on there. It doesn't matter which order you put them in. If you put blue at the top or red at the top, it doesn't matter. The only thing that's gonna matter is when we start to mix our colors, it will matter where you put those on the color wheel. So Violet and I think we chose different positions for ours, but that's okay. All right, so here's our little pink cups. And we put our 2 primaries together for each. So you see here at the top, we put yellow and red together in a cup. We have yellow here, red here. Down here, we put blue and red together. We're gonna put a color there. And over here on the bottom left, we've got the yellow and the blue pink. We'll see what's gonna happen from there. So here's Violet mixing her first 2 colors. Which 2 colors did you mix to make purple?
I used blue and red.
Blue and red. So here we are kind of mixing those 2 colors together, and then you painted it on there on your circle, on your color wheel. I did mine as well. All right, here's a trick question for our friends at home. Which 2 colors are going to make the orange? Will it be red and yellow Or will it be blue and yellow? Which one do you think is going to make the orange color?
I think it's going to be red and yellow.
Let's see if you're right. You are right. Perfect. So there's Violet mixing up the paint down there. There's orange and orange coming from the red and the yellow. We actually ended up having to add a little more yellow. Do you remember that? Because it was a little too red. It was a red orange. So we had to add a little more yellow to get to the color orange that we wanted. And you can see we put the orange on the piece of pie between the yellow and the red. And our last color to mix up was, what color did we mix? Green. And what did you do to make green?
Yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue made the green. So it's neat to kind of watch the colors start to come together and mix up with each other. So there's Violet making the green, the last part of her color wheel. Now you'll notice we didn't get too particular about how straight our lines were. I mean, we tried to make our pieces of pie look nice, but we're going to kind of clean up these edges here a little bit later. So don't worry about having a perfect circle around the edges of your color wheel, because we're actually going to trim some of that off. So if you make some mistakes there, don't worry about it. We did not make a color wheel with the tertiary colors, but again, like I said, if you did do that, you would need 12 slices of pie to do that. But I did mix two colors here to show you the tertiary colors for the green. So here, remember, green is made of what colors?
They're made of
green. How do you make green?
blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow, right. So here I took that same green that we mixed up and I added more yellow to it, and that's where you get yellow green, and it's called yellow green because it has more yellow in it than blue. Over here between the blue and the green, I have a color called blue green. And what did I add more of to this blue green to make it that color? Remember? Blue. I added more blue to the green than yellow, so it makes a slightly different color. So you could go all the way around your color wheel. And again, if you wanted to do this, if you're interested in you know, the process of mixing the paint colors, you can try this and you can make a 6 slices of pie color wheel. Huh? All right, so what we did after our paint had dried, we took a black marker and we traced around our pieces of pie. We used a ruler to do that to make it nice and straight. So you can see we used black marker and we just traced over those lines, made this a little more defined. And then we also cut the circle out. So you can see in the second picture here, we cut along the edges. And then we're like, well, it still kind of looks like a circle. We want to make it look a little more like an umbrella, right? And umbrellas have those pieces of metal, like tongs inside that kind of help keep it shape. And they kind of create this kind of, I'm gonna call it a scalloped edge. It's kind of like a shape.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So this is what we did. We drew these kind of scalloped edges, and we left a piece on here for you to see before we cut it. What we did, we drew that kind of hump shape, a little tiny hill, and then we cut that little piece off. So that kind of made our umbrellas kind of have pointed edges.
Like a real umbrella.
Like a real umbrella, yep. So this is right before we cut off that last little piece, hers on the green and mine on the yellow. And there's our umbrella. Well, we have to put our umbrella somewhere. Who carries an umbrella? Who carries the umbrella? Who carries an umbrella?
A little boy.
Yeah, anybody, right? Anybody. People. I'm not seeing any cats and dogs out there with their umbrellas. But.
That's kind of crazy.
So we decided to draw. We just drew the bottom halves of the people because we're going to place the umbrella so that it covers up the bodies. So we just drew kind of from like the belly down. Violet chose to use colored pencils to draw hers, so she kind of drew her person in a orange coat and pants and purple boots standing in a puddle. And I used marker for mine, and I made a yellow jacket with yellow pants or yellow boots and red pants and some blue water. The other thing you'll notice that we did was we kind of put in the center where all of the colors come together on our color wheel, we kind of put like a button shape. You know, the top of the umbrella kind of
like
has a little round spot on top. Yeah, we put that on top with our black marker too. And our last thing to do was we glued our umbrellas on. So you can see we covered up where the tops of the body, so you can't even tell that there's no head or arms on those bodies. And then we also drew some raindrops. Kind of looks like it's making movement the way we kind of put those long strokes on there. So what did you think of this project? Was this one pretty easy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part is when we cut it a little humps out.
You like cutting the humps out?
That made me think of like ears of a cat.
Oh, kind of like cat ears. That's funny. Yeah, it kind of does. I can see that. All right. Well, those are our projects. We're hoping you can make some at home too. So we'll go over those supplies again. And remember, you could also make this umbrella with 12 colors. So if you want to include those tertiary colors, make it more of a challenge. But we just chose to do the 6. Oh, and lastly, we forgot about this part. Why did you choose to put the blue part of the umbrella touching your body? What are those colors to each other? Blue and orange.
Blue and orange, they're the
opposite ones, or the complementary ones.
The opposite.
And what opposites did I choose?
Purple and yellow.
The purple part of my umbrella is touching the yellow of my
umbrella.
My raincoat.
I got it.
So we learned about complementary colors, so we thought we would kind of throw that into our project too. So maybe when you make your project, whatever color is touching your raincoat, maybe those two could be complementary colors. All right, so here's our supplies again. Hopefully just stuff you have at your house: pencil, ruler, black marker, white paper. Again, we needed 2 pieces of white paper. We did 1 to make the color wheel, and then 1 where we drew our person in the raincoat. Our washable paints, obviously those are the easiest to use around kiddos. They're pretty safe. You just need red, yellow, and blue. Containers for mixing some paint, paintbrushes, have some water and paper towels handy in case you have some messes, some scissors, and then we added the glue, the colored pencils, and markers later. If you don't have any paint, you could probably still make this project. You just wouldn't be able to do the mixing part, but you could still make the umbrella. You could still make the actual picture. You would just have to use your crayons to make the colors.
Or marker.
Or markers, yeah. You just can't really mix those. Paint is the best for mixing.
Colored pencils?
For colored pencils.
Any kind of color.
Any kind of colors. You just wouldn't be able to mix those ones because paint's pretty much the only one you can mix pretty easily. All right, and if you do make this project, you do make this color wheel umbrella, show us your work, post it for us. Wherever you're watching the video, you could post your finished umbrellas there, and you could tag us with the hashtag PPL at home. So that is it for our project for this week. We'd like to say thanks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.